The human mind, a marvel of evolution, capable of extraordinary feats, from creating art to solving complex problems. It is a testament to our species' ingenuity and adaptability. But even the most sophisticated instrument can be prone to error, and the mind is no exception. These errors can be minor, like forgetting a name, or significant, like misinterpreting a situation. In this series, we journey into the fascinating and often unsettling world of visual perception, exploring how our brains, those architects of reality, can sometimes lead us astray. Through optical illusions and visual puzzles, we will see how easily our senses can be deceived. We'll delve into the shadowy realm of paranoia, where suspicion reigns and trust erodes, creating a world where reality and illusion blur. Our guide through this labyrinth of the mind will be the subtle flaws in our vision, those minute errors that can have a profound impact on how we interpret the world around us. These small imperfections can alter our perception in ways we might not even realize. Join us, if you will, as we unlock the secrets of the mind's eye and uncover the intricate link between visual errors and the perplexing phenomenon of paranoia. Together, we will explore the depths of human perception and the mysteries it holds. Our perception of the world shapes our beliefs, influencing how we interact with our surroundings and the people we meet. But what happens when that perception is flawed, leading us to see things that aren't really there? In this series, we will dive into how visual errors are linked to paranoid thinking, exploring the science behind these phenomena, and how our brains can misinterpret reality, creating a distorted view of the world around us. We'll examine the subtle ways our eyes can deceive us, from simple optical illusions to more complex visual distortions, and how these deceptions can give rise to unfounded suspicions and irrational fears, affecting our mental well-being. From fleeting glances to everyday objects, our minds can twist these images into something far more sinister. We'll uncover how the simplest of sights can be twisted into evidence of something more sinister, feeding our paranoia. Join us as we explore the unsettling intersection of perception, paranoia, and the human mind's struggle to make sense of a world that isn't always as it seems. Together, we'll delve into the mysteries of how our brains can betray us, leading to a reality that feels both familiar and alien. To understand how visual errors fuel paranoia, we must first understand what paranoia is. Paranoia involves irrational distrust and suspicion of others, often without evidence. It's a state of mind where harmless actions are perceived as threats and coincidences are seen as conspiracies. Those experiencing paranoia often feel as if they're being watched, followed, or persecuted, even when there is no real danger. This heightened state of anxiety and fear can have a debilitating impact on their lives, affecting their relationships, work, and overall well-being. Teleological thinking is the tendency to believe that events happen for a purpose. This innate human desire to find meaning, even in randomness, can influence how we perceive the world around us. When it comes to paranoia, teleological thinking can lead individuals to see intention where there is none. A chance encounter, a misplaced object, or an overheard conversation can be interpreted as part of a larger, malevolent plan. This tendency to ascribe purpose to random events can fuel the flames of suspicion, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine threats and imagined conspiracies. Chapter 4: Chasing Shadows. The chase illusion and paranoia. One of the most intriguing visual errors that connects to paranoia is the chase illusion. Imagine two dots moving independently on a screen. Our brains, wired to perceive patterns and relationships, often interpret these movements as a chase, even when the dots are following separate paths. This illusion highlights how our brains can impose narratives onto seemingly random events, creating connections where none exist. In the context of paranoia, this tendency to see chases where there are none can manifest as a belief that one is being followed or pursued, even without evidence. Chapter 5: The Weight of a Glance, Misinterpreting Everyday Events. Paranoia often arises from normal events misinterpreted as something threatening. A glance, a gesture, a movement. Each could be seen as a signal that someone is out to get you. The human brain is constantly scanning for threats, and in a state of paranoia, this threat detection system goes into overdrive. Innocuous actions, like someone looking in your direction or clearing their throat, can be misconstrued as signs of aggression or ill intent. This heightened sensitivity to perceived threats can make it difficult to navigate social situations and maintain healthy relationships. Chapter 6. Inanimate threats, seeing intent in the unseen. Visual errors can exaggerate the tendency to see intent where there is none. For example, a seemingly harmless object might be perceived as chasing someone. This phenomenon, known as pareidolia, is the brain's tendency to perceive familiar patterns in random stimuli. While pareidolia can be a source of amusement, like seeing faces in clouds, it can also contribute to paranoid beliefs. In the grip of paranoia, everyday objects can take on sinister qualities. A tree branch swaying in the wind might be seen as a lurking figure, or a shadow cast by a streetlight could be mistaken for someone following close behind. Our ability to trust others is heavily influenced by what we see and how we interpret it. You see, visual errors can erode trust, making us believe others are acting with malicious intent. When our brains misinterpret visual information, it can lead to misunderstandings and misjudgments about the intentions of others. A fleeting expression, a misinterpreted gesture, or even a case of mistaken identity can sow seeds of doubt and suspicion. Over time, these misinterpretations can chip away at the foundation of trust, making it difficult to form and maintain healthy relationships. Chapter 8. Distorted reality, how misperceptions affect relationships. Visual errors don't only affect how we see the world, they affect how we interact with others. Paranoia can distort relationships, turning ordinary actions into signs of betrayal. A loved one arriving home late, a friend forgetting a lunch date, or a partner spending more time on their phone can all be misconstrued as evidence of deceit or disloyalty. These misinterpretations can lead to arguments, accusations, and a breakdown in communication, ultimately pushing loved ones away. The constant suspicion and fear of betrayal can create a toxic environment, making it difficult to experience intimacy and connection. Chapter 9. Trapped in the maze. Cognitive distortions and paranoia. Cognitive distortions are patterns of thinking that reinforce negative and irrational beliefs. Paranoia thrives on these distortions, particularly when it comes to how we interpret what we see. One common distortion is mind reading, where individuals assume they know what others are thinking, even without evidence. Another is catastrophizing, where minor setbacks are perceived as major disasters. These distorted thinking patterns, coupled with visual errors, create a vicious cycle, reinforcing paranoid beliefs and making it difficult to see situations objectively. Chapter 10. Reclaiming reality, addressing visual errors in paranoia. Can visual errors and paranoid beliefs be addressed? Yes, through awareness and cognitive therapy, individuals can begin to recognize when their perceptions are flawed and challenge those beliefs. Therapy can help individuals identify the underlying causes of their paranoia, challenge negative thought patterns, and develop coping mechanisms for managing anxiety and stress. By understanding how visual errors can contribute to paranoia, individuals can learn to question their perceptions and seek evidence before jumping to conclusions. Breaking free from the grip of paranoia requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge deeply held beliefs. Outro: Seeing Clearly, Navigating Perception and Mental Health. In this series, we've explored how visual errors can fuel paranoid beliefs and distort our understanding of the world around us. These visual misinterpretations can significantly influence our interpretation of reality, leading to misconceptions and false beliefs. By understanding these cognitive processes, we can better navigate our perceptions and protect our mental health from undue stress. Remember, our brains are not infallible, they are complex organs prone to errors and biases. These errors are especially prevalent when we are faced with uncertainty or stress, making us more vulnerable to distorted thinking. By acknowledging these limitations, we can approach our perceptions with a healthy dose of skepticism and mindfulness. This helps us avoid falling prey to paranoia's seductive whispers and maintain a balanced perspective. If you or someone you know is struggling with paranoia, please remember that help is available and you are not alone. Seeking professional support can provide the tools and guidance needed to challenge distorted thinking, manage anxiety, and build resilience. With the right support, you can reclaim a sense of peace and trust in the world, fostering a healthier mental state.